Hello everyone, welcome to our 𝗖𝗍𝗶𝘁 YouTube channel. I am 𝗘𝘅𝗽𝗍𝗶𝘃, a coach and a research scholar. In this audio lecture, we will learn very clearly about communication types on the basis of channels. So in this video, what you will learn from the audio lecture? You will learn about what is verbal and non-verbal communication and their limits and their advantages. So first let us have the understanding about what is meant by communication channel. Here the channel is about the medium that you and I use to communicate with other people. For example, I am talking to you. You are listening to me. I am using English language to communicate my information with you. So here my channel is English language. So channel is the medium to communicate your information. So on that basis, we have two types of channels. The first channel is verbal communication. Second channel is non-verbal communication. So let us have some understanding about verbal communication. What does it mean by verbal communication? The name itself indicates that verbal communication, it is all about the oral communication of language. If you want to convey a message, you use your native tongue. That can be Telugu, that can be Hindi, that can be Malayalam. Whatever the language that you use orally through your lips and tongue, that can be called as oral communication. So here verbal communication have two types again. One is oral communication and written communication. In oral communication, spoken words are used, and it includes face-to-face conversation, speeches, telephonic conversation, video conferences, radios, televisions, voice, whatever, all the things that are needed where you need to speak orally, that is oral communication. In oral communication, we need to take care about few things. One is pitch and volume. While we speak, the high and low that we give in our tone while we speak depends our communication. So if you speak monotonously, that means the same voice if you can contain throughout your speech, you may not communicate effectively. You may not pass your message 100%. So you need to speak with high, maintaining ups and downs in your speech. Then rate, that means how many words do you have to use to make your communication effective or to pass your message 100%. In a minute, you can speak 140 to 180 words. In a minute, you can use 140 to 180 range of words in your communication or in your speech. This question might be asked in UGC NET paper 1. What is the actual rate of words in a normal communication? Or what is the parameter of words range to make your communication 100% successful? The range is 140 to 180 words. And you can also make your communication effective by giving clarity in speaking and articulation. That means you need to pronounce words properly with perfect articulation. Then your message can be very effective. Then your communication will be successful. So here some limitations are there for oral communication. The limitations are, while we use spoken words, they are temporary, because If you can't record your voice, your words, your message, your information, your data, it can be evaporated within the fraction of seconds. So they are temporary and they disappear into air once you pass your information. And second limitation is temptation to forget in comparison to written communication. In written communication, we have the liberty, we have the freedom to think and write. But while you speak, you don't have that liberty, you don't have freedom to recollect what you want to speak. So that is one of the limitation for oral communication. And oral communication may not be understood by people from other cultures. For example, I am speaking English. The people who can't understand English, they can't understand me. Or else the people who speak Telugu, they can't understand the people who speak Malayalam. So culture difference is there, language difference is there everywhere. Okay, if you and I have the same language, whatever the language that I'm using, if you can use that language, if you can understand that language, there is no problem, our oral communication will be successful. But to make our oral communication successful, you need to follow few things. First one is you need to maintain pitch and volume in your communication. You need to maintain the rate of speech 140 to 180 words per a minute, and you need to articulate each and every one perfectly with proper pronunciation. So that is about oral communication. And come to the second type in verbal communication, that is written communication. In written communication, we use signs, symbols. Okay, we write words nothing but symbols or signs. Okay, so pictures we use, graphs we use, and these graphs and pictures can complement to our writing text. And communicators' writing skill, style, knowledge of grammar can qualify their quality of message. In written communication, if you can't write it properly, in the sense without grammatical errors, your receiver of your message may misunderstand your message. That is why you need to take care of your written communication, whether are you writing all your information with no error of grammatical. So that is one thing. And in written communication, again we have two categories. One is internal written communication, second one is external written communication. In internal written communication, for example, let us take one college. Within the college, whatever you write, memos, reports, bulletins, descriptions, employees manuals, records, registers, whatever it can be, those are internal written communication. And when it comes to external written communication, it is about mails, internet, websites, letters, proposals, telegrams, faxes, postcards, contacts, advertisements, brochures, news releases, or these are external written communication. So the advantage of written communication, there are 3 points for the advantages of written communication. The first point is the message that you are writing can be edited, can be revised. We don't have this advantage in oral communication. Once you pass your message through your voice, that can't be edited, that can't be revised. But here in written communication, as we are writing while thinking, as we have eraser, as we have pen and paper, if we feel whatever we are writing is incorrect, inappropriate, some mistakes are there, then you can correct them in a good way. And another advantage of written communication is it provides an automatic record for every message sent, can be for later study and reference. For example, you write a letter and someone has replied to your letter, then you can use that in later purpose as a reference. So that advantage is there. That advantage we didn't have in oral communication. And it enables a receiver to fully understand it, send appropriate feedback. When you communicate with the people with the written communication, they can understand your message completely and give the expected feedback to you. So that is the advantage. And when it comes to limitations of written communication, you have you have few limitations for written communication. The first one is it does not provide prompt and spontaneous response or a feedback. Imagine, no, you and I are speaking. I asked a question. What is your name? You immediately tell, I am Krishna or I am so and so. So asking question is very quick, giving response is also prompt. So these two things can happen simultaneously without further ado. But when it comes to written communication, you don't have that prompt or spontaneous feedback. So that is the limitation, that is the disadvantage of written communication. And another thing is it takes more time than to the oral communication. Yes, when you write a letter, when you prepare a report, definitely it takes much time and effort also. It is a mix of both oral and written communication formats sometimes. So these are the limitations in written communication. And come to the non-verbal communication. Up to now we cleared with verbal communication has two kinds. One is oral, second one is written. And we are coming to non-verbal communication. Non-verbal communication, it is all about signs, facial expressions, gestures, postures, body language. Let me give you some introduction about what is non-verbal communication. The title of the name, so the title of the non-verbal communication can tell us we are not using any word, we are not using language, we are using sign language to communicate with other people. For example, you are in a tropic. One sign showed you that is a red signal, and you immediately stop there until you get the green signal from the traffic signals. Then you start going to your destination. So here the thing is, non-verbal communication, no need of any language, no need of words, that you need to understand. Then what do we need instead? How can we compensate this? So here, facial expressions, gestures, signs, eye contact, our body language also have the ability to communicate some information. Let us have some types here. So types of non-verbal communication, first one is facial expression. When you feel happy, your face look in a different way. When you feel sad, it also appears different. So all the emotions can be visible on your face, but you no longer use any language or word to express your mood or state of mind. So facial expressions can also be a non-verbal communication from which we can understand how the person would be. And postures. Our body postures can also convey some meaning. And gestures and body language. When we meet a person, we give shake hand. When we leave a person, we say bye bye, waving hands. All these are sign language. And with the touch also, we can convey something. When we pat back on our students, they feel confident, they feel they gain some energy, and they regenerate, and they come with the too much enthusiasm and interest towards our subject. So touch is also one of the non-verbal communication. And space, maintaining the physical distance between two people when speaking with someone can also the non-verbal communication. And eye contact can also be the non-verbal communication. And paralanguage, sorry, this means how do we speak, the tone of our voice, the speed in our voice, the volume that we give while we speak. All these are para language. So this is about a non-verbal communication. So in this complete video, we learn about the communication channels. In communication channels, we have two types. One is verbal, another one is non-verbal. In verbal communication also we have two types, oral and written. Again, in non-verbal communication we have many types. We can convey with our body language, we can convey with our touch, we can convey with our eye contact, we can convey with our facial expressions, we can convey some message with our gestures, postures. All these elements involved in our communication. So this is about the today's audio lecture. Thank you all, and please do subscribe and share to our 𝗖𝗍𝗻 YouTube channel, because that is the thing can motivate me to do these sort of more videos for you and everyone. Thank you all for listening to me.